rain on your parade, but I heard on the way over here that the Department of Homeland Security has issued another advisory. And you all are to be on the lookout for a bunch of subversives all over this country. They're doing covert operations, they're doing gatherings everywhere. It's like, now, I haven't seen anything like that myself. What about you folks? Hey, you know what? I'll bet that's where the damn media are. A bunch of right-wing extremists have scared them off. You know, 233 years ago, a bunch of folks, not too unlike yourselves, got together, and they'd had enough too. They'd been taxed enough. You know, they'd had their freedoms squashed enough. They had had their representation taken away from them enough. They got together. They were farmers. They were merchants. There were a few lawyers. You had physicians. And they decided that we have had it. We can't take this anymore, and you got your Declaration of Independence. That's what today is about. We're celebrating July 4th, the beginning of our country, its birth. And that's those folks, just like you, that said, we're taking it in our hands. The flame of liberty that burned in their hearts was not to be vanquished. These guys went out there, they risked their careers, fortunes, their homes, their lands, and their lives. All were at stake, and much was lost. The cost of liberty was not light. But to the last man, they agreed on one thing, and that's it was worth it. I guess so. They founded the greatest country on the face of this earth. And here we stand today. Our freedoms are under assault once again. Taxes are being imposed. Our money is being spent wantonly. The free markets are being destroyed. Honest representation is being trampled under by legislation without deliberation. You've heard of taxation without representation. How about legislation without deliberation? Hell, they don't even read the damn bills anymore. Now we're faced with cap and trade. That's a new one that's out there. That, of course, they don't want to read the bill. They got better things to do. But what's that mean to you? That means that you're going to be taxed on all the energy that you use. You're going to be taxed on all the products, the energy that's used to make those products you buy. You're going to be taxed on all the bills for the truckers to bring those products to your home. What's that mean to you? It means you, your family, and your children are going to become victims of permanent bondage. Slaves to the government, involuntary indenturement. Our current administration and Congress have totally lost sight of the underlying principles of our Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. That we are a people with inalienable God-given rights, and that we have formed a government to protect those rights. A government with limited powers, not a government with unlimited powers that the people owe allegiance to, as witnessed by the fact that we pledge allegiance to that flag, the symbol of the people of the 50 sovereign states of this great country, not to the government. Indeed, unlike any other constitution, ours is not the one that enumerates the powers of the government, but rather it limits the powers of the government. It enumerates the rights of the sovereign states and the liberties of the people, while spelling out what the government can't do. It is a document of the people and for the people, but it has been under attack for years. And now it faces its greatest attack in history. There are those who would tell you it is old, it's tawdry, it's without real relevance today. Well, I ask you, what can possibly be old and tawdry or not relevant about the liberty of man, the God-given inalienable rights of man, the freedom from persecution, the protection of those rights, or the responsibilities that are inherent with those rights and freedoms? Now I ask you, what are you going to do about it? You, every one of you. You came out here, you took the afternoon off. You wanted to hear speakers, and you've heard about all your grievances are. We've been hashed around, kicked it around, everybody's reinforced it in your mind. Now I'm asking you, what are you going to do about it? What are you willing to risk? Is it the secure future of your family and self worth 3 or 4 hours a week? Or more? Is your family's future worth the effort to hold your elected officials accountable? Have you been taxed enough already?
Yeah.
Are you concerned about the government screwing up your health care? Like everything else they touch? Do you think it's time to reduce the size of government?
Yeah.
Make it take a back seat in your daily lives? Well, if you answer yes to any of these questions, then it's time for you to get involved in the electoral process. It's time to learn about the candidates. It's time for you to hold your elected officials accountable. It's time to call or write your elected officials and let them know what you think. And I don't mean send emails. If you're going to write them, you write a letter, you address it to your members of Congress or to the honorable, your politician, and you either fax it or you put it in the mail. If you fax it and you put it in the mail, then what you had to say is serious, and they're going to pay attention. Emails, they get zillions of them. You get them in your inbox all the time. Sign up here, sign this petition, let's send an email. That goes in their junk bin. You want to send a real letter. Fax it or mail it, and you will be heard. I guarantee it. You will get a response to anything that you fax or mail. You will get a response back. Do you have problems with the way officials are executing their duties and responsibilities? Do you think you need a change is overdue? Well, guess what? They got there because they participated. You want to get rid of them? Then you have to participate too. You have to work harder than they did. All right, now what's the word of the day? It's participate. Because that is the only way that you're going to change anything. You got to get involved, you got to participate. Those guys did not fall out of the sky. People just like you, whether they were right or wrong, went and voted them in the office. Maybe some of you made a mistake and you found out afterwards. You got to get re-involved, you got to participate, you got to boot their tails out if you don't like what they're doing. The good news is you, like our founding fathers, you don't have to risk your careers, your homes, your fortunes, or your lives. But you do have to risk something. Be it some time going door to door, to do some phone banking, do events like this, host a fundraiser for your favorite candidate, even your local committee. Or you can pony up some cash for the campaign so that others can be more effective. Remember, with those liberties and rights come inherent responsibilities, the most important of which is to protect those rights and privileges. It's time to take action. Stand up and fight. Fight for freedom. Fight now, or stand idly by and watch your freedoms and rights slip away, one by one. We're at a crossroads, and you have to make a choice. You have to fight for freedom and liberty, or you're going to succumb to socialism. Let's not have to bear witness to the rally cry of our native son, Patrick Henry. Give me liberty or give me death. Because slavery by socialism will be a living death. Woo! Let's all go out there. Let's take our country back, take our communities back, starting today. Let's do it. Come on, all of you, let's do this together. God bless America. God bless all of you. Thank you.